Halo sahabat Kompas TV, ketemu lagi. Saya Iriana Mardanus, nemenin lagi kalian untuk ngobrol-ngobrol di Podcast Keliling Kompas TV. Seperti kita tahu, setiap episode di Podcast Keliling atau polling Kompas TV, ini ada satu hal yang menarik ya. Nah, untuk episode kali ini kita juga sekalian untuk merayakan Hari Musik Dunia atau World Music Day 2022. Nah, oleh karenanya saya akan langsung ngobrol-ngobrol dengan musisi sebenarnya. Tapi juga musisi ini bukan sekedar musisi, karena ada yang unik. Saya langsung aja kenalin. Saya udah punya dua narasumber di sini. I get two source, guests in this studio. So I'll let you introduce yourself.
Terima kasih banyak Pak. Saya bernama Pak Leo. Saya bekerja di Kedutaan Besar Amerika. Pekerjaan saya is Adhan or Defense Attaché Amerika. So
Defense Attaché. Leo, right?
Leo.
Nah, satu
atau Leo Sono.
Leo Sono. Pak Leo, satu lagi.
Dan saya Nick Geisinger, Pak Nick. Saya wakil attaché pers di kantor urusan publik.
Okay. So you're working with journalists and media and stuff.
Yep.
Okay. So, jadi mereka ini adalah dua diplomat di Kedutaan Besar Amerika Serikat di Indonesia, di Jakarta. Tahu kan kantor bagus banget itu. Nah, tapi selain menjadi diplomat, ternyata mereka adalah musisi juga. Jadi, rather than only working as a diplomat, so you're a musician also. So, tell me about this band. What is it called?
The Dip Notes.
Our name is the Dip Notes.
Dip Notes.
And
stands from diplomatic notes, right?
It does. It's a little play on words.
Yeah.
But we are a kind of constantly changing group of people who work in the embassy.
Yeah, because it comes and go, the people.
Yeah, and
as a diplomat, right?
We have Americans that play with us, and also local staff, Indonesians who work in the embassy. So we have a lot of fun, and we just really play for fun.
How many members is in the band?
6 or 7, maybe up to 10 at certain times when you add in the singers. So it all depends on the song.
Right. I'd say anywhere from 3 to about 15.
15?
Depending on the event.
All right. Yeah. So Nick, you play guitar. I know that it is a guitar, right?
That's right.
Banget ya kalau ini adalah
acoustic guitar.
Nah, itu adalah gitar akustik. Tapi, the unique one is in right here, Pak Leo Jono. So, Leo, can you explain what is this?
Sure. A lot music ini is berasal Amerika Selatan dan sedikit terkenal untuk folk and country music, and it's bernama washboard.
Washboard?
Yeah.
So, like to wash?
Yeah, so menggunakan untuk wash. In fact, this one saya membeli toko online shop.
Okay, so
yeah, and saya mencari washboard untuk mencuci pakaian, and this came up hanya 7.000.
What?
Yeah,
7.000. Nah, itulah kehebatnya di Indonesia ya, banyak barang yang murah sekali. There are many cheap things in Indonesia, right?
So saya membangunkan ini dengan bel dan tempat ini, and it's hampir sama music betul dari Amerika.
So you bought this one from America?
From America.
Okay. But this one from Indonesia.
Yeah.
But it is basically the same.
Saya merasa seperti ini lebih baik.
Lebih nyaman.
Yeah, it's closer to my heart, and also menggunakan sendok. So sesudah saya selesai membuat music, saya bisa minum a little bakso.
Ternyata. Well, your bahasa is very good, Leo.
Oh, terima kasih banyak.
So, saya masih mau nanya nih soal washboard ini. I think my mom got one in my house because she like to wash her clothes traditionally, manually.
Yeah.
Pak bisa bermain juga?
I don't think so. Nggak bisa.
Yeah, istri saya suka sekali, sebab istri saya selalu memberitahu, suami perlu menjadi washboard abs.
Kenapa?
Lebih kuat dan olahraga.
Washboard abs, you mean abs?
Ya, perlu. Tetapi saya membeli ini lebih mudah.
Okay, so di Amerika benar-benar dipakai untuk main musik.
Ya, terkenal sekali. Dan
khususnya di South America. I mean Amerika bagian selatan.
Ya, Amerika Selatan, dan banyak lagu-lagu kami akan memperlihatkan hari ini, dan khusus jenis dan menggunakan washboard.
Alright.
So tidak harus menggunakan drum
Yeah.
dan menggunakan washboard.
So it kayak musik tambahan ya, like added music, added sound for the band, right? So Nick, how long has this band, formed? I mean, since the beginning of the U.S. Embassy here, or?
Well, I think diplomats in the embassy have been playing music for a long time, but versi ini maybe 1 year, 1 tahun.
Oh, okay. Karena because of the diplomats comes and goes, the members also, changing all the time. So how long have you been both in Indonesia, Nick?
10 months, almost a year.
10 months.
Hampir tahun.
Yeah. Hitungannya masih baru ya berarti ya?
Yeah.
A little bit new, right?
A little bit, sedikit, yeah.
Leo?
1 tahun lewat maybe 6 bulan, so 18 bulan, tetapi saya bertugas ke Indonesia 2 kali. So dulu pada tahun 2008 saya bertugas untuk Bandung.
So welcome back.
Yeah.
Indonesia.
Selalu baik 2 kali.
Oke, jadi kita sembari ngobrol-ngobrol ini kita akan juga melihat bagaimana mereka satu band ini akan memainkan musik. Tapi sebelum kita lihat musik yang akan dimainkan, saya mau nanya dulu. I want to ask before we play music in this closing segment. What is your favorite Indonesian music this far?
So far?
So far.
Actually, when I was still in the States, saya bermain musik dengan Diplomat Indonesia di sana.
Oh, okay.
Dan mereka, they showed me a group called Andra and the Backbone, which is the same
it's popular
player from Dewa 19. So I like, there was a song that we learned to play called, what was it called? Main Hati.
Okay.
That was the first Indonesian song that I learned, and I like rock.
Yeah. Can you play a little bit?
Oh sure, let's.
For this Andra and the Backbone song, Ku Main Hati, you said?
If I remember, it was like.
Ku akui, ku main hati, ku main hati, ku main hati, ku tak bisa untuk memungkiri, ku main hati.
Something like that.
Yay, very nice. Leo?
Ada begitu banyak lagu-lagu Indonesia, tetapi ketika saya melakukan kegiatan dengan TNI, selalu menyanyi Sempurna.
Yeah. Dari Andra and the Backbone?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so Andra and the Backbone it is. So you're
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's lagu yang terkenal.
So have you heard genre in Indonesia like dangdut or
sure.
koplo, keroncong? You ever heard of Indonesian traditional genre?
Yeah, with the gamelan atau.
Yes.
Yeah.
So how do you think of it?
It's wonderful, and sebenarnya kami ada grup Amerika yang bermain musik dangdut. Di sini 1 atau 2 tahun lalu. Untuk festival, untuk workshops, and so yeah, dangdut is very fun.
Dangdut, well, dangdut is the music of my country. That song.
Saya suka sekali. Saya sudah mengajar anak-anak.
Okay.
Bagaimana? Saya punya kecil.
For this washboard.
Oh no, alat lain.
Alat lain, okay.
Dan the percussion.
The percussion.
Yeah.
Oh, because you basically play percussion as well. All right. So, saya akan lanjut nanti nanya-nanya. I will continue to ask about many things. We also gonna talk about a little bit about U.S.-Indonesia bilateral relations the 4th segment. So, jangan kemana-mana, sahabat Kompas TV, kita dengar dulu lagu yang akan mereka nyanyikan. So, what song will you bring?
Our first song?
Your first song?
That's a good question.
Okay, kita lihat.
I think we should start with Country Roads.
Country Road. Okay then.
Saya suka sekali Country Roads. Saya berlahir di West Virginia.
Karena memang dari West Virginia.
Ya, betul Pak.
Oke. Kita dengar dulu Country Road. The deep notes.
Country Road.
Almost heaven, West Virginia. Blue Ridge Mountain, Shenandoah River. Life is over there, older than the trees, younger than the mountains, growing like a breeze. Country road, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, mountain mama, take me home. Country roads, all my memories gather round her. Miner's lady, stranger to the water, dark and dusty, painted on the sky. Misty taste of moonshine, teardrop in my eye. Country road, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, mountain mama, take me home. Country roads, I hear a voice in the morning hour, she calls me. Radio reminds me of a song far away. Driving down the road, I get a feeling that I should have been home yesterday. Yesterday, country road, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, mountain mama, take me home. Country road, country roads, oh take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, mountain mama, take me home. Country roads, oh take me home. Country roads.
Oke, balik lagi bersama saya Riana Mardanus. Kalau tadi kita ngobrol-ngobrol sama Leo dan Nick. Nick masih ada di sini. We got our new guest here.
How you doing? My name's
Mark. It's Mark here with guitar also. So we got two guitars here. Ada dua gitar sekarang ya. Okay, so we're gonna still talk about music and bands and songs.
Sure.
And then because it's related to World Music Day 2022. So Mark, I want to ask you, how long have you been in Indonesia?
About 3 years. 3 tahun.
3 years.
Yeah.
Okay, so longer than Nick and
Yes.
Leo.
Yeah.
Have you heard some of Indonesian music,
Yeah.
band song? Do you have favorite?
Yeah. I really like the band Slank.
Yes, of course. Yeah,
everybody
Slank.
knows them. That's
Everyone
true.
loves
That's cool.
Slank, yeah.
All I like about them is their choruses are, you can always sing along to it. It's very good for amateur musicians like myself, because you can sing along with the chorus.
Yes.
You know, it's beautiful melodies, but easy to learn, which is always important, especially singing in a language that's
Is it
not
easy?
your first language. I mean,
Slang.
easier to learn than
All right.
than a lot of other songs. I should put it that way. No songs are easy to learn, especially not for me. But definitely, what I like about it is it's catchy and everybody can sing along.
So
to it.
there
It
are
feels very good.
two guitarists in
Yeah.
Diplomatic Notes.
That is
okay?
right. Yes.
So why? I mean, why two guitars? Nick?
Because I remember half of the notes and he remembers the other half.
Yeah, exactly. So combined, it's like one decent melody. That's a good way to put it. Yeah, exactly.
So talking about guitar in Indonesia, 1.5 years in Indonesia, 3 years in Indonesia. Nick masih punya beberapa kunci yang akan dimainkan. Nick, you still got some song to play. You said that you remember very much.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
So here's the song. I wouldn't say it's my favorite Indonesian song, but it's the one that I probably hear all the time. It goes like this. Some of you may recognize it.
Okay.
It goes.
That's the ice cream song.
Yes.
Right.
Anybody's in the mood for dessert, he's your guy.
Hey. Woo. So,
Yes.
We heard about Country Road, ya. Tadi kita udah dengar lagu Country Road. In America, about music, the World Music Day, the theme for this year's World Music Day is music at the intersection. So how do you see that theme?
That's a great theme, and honestly, I didn't know that was the theme of this year. But music is something we all share, right? Membagi musik.
Yeah.
For example, my favorite band, group musik favorit, Beatles. The Beatles, all time. And they're a great example of, they borrowed so many influences from the United States.
Yeah.
They were fans of Elvis Presley and Chuck Berry and Little Richard. And then, of course, they played so many songs that then influenced everyone in the United States and around the whole world, including Indonesia. So I do feel that music is at the center of everything that we share.
That is very important. Well, music is very important, right? So because not only as a diplomat, right? So you're a musician as well, as I said before. So how do you see the theme for the World Music Day, music at the intersection?
I think that's fantastic. It's true. I mean, one of the things I think you find when you travel anywhere or you meet somebody new, I mean, what's one of the first things you talk about, right? It's like, oh, what kind of music do you like to listen to? Or, hey, I hear there's a concert at this cafe. Yeah. Why don't we go check out the music? And then you find out that people around the world, a lot of them like the same songs, or if they like songs that sound like each other. And so it's a universal language.
Universal language.
Everybody loves music to some degree because it's all around us.
Yes.
In sounds when you're growing up, what your parents listen to, what your friends listen to, what you like to listen to.
All connected.
It's all connected.
Yeah,
and so
language.
it really is. It's the intersection of all of our lives. And everything that music talks about, I mean, it's the fundamental building blocks of why we are human and what is so great to be alive on this earth, right? It's love, it's peace, it's faith.
Yeah.
It's sadness, but overcoming grief and sadness. It's what makes us angry about our politics, but what makes us happy about our politics. It's everything, and so it's really true. It's a great theme for this year.
You moved me, man.
Yeah,
you moved me.
Thanks.
Me as well.
I felt it.
So, okay, talking about Diplomatic Notes, the band, right?
Yes.
Do you have your own song? Have you written your own song?
I don't think we have yet.
That said,
Belum.
This
Akan berarti.
He's being a little bit modest because his family, he happens to come from an incredibly musical family.
Okay.
And his 3 children write songs all the time.
Yeah.
And they've actually performed with us a few times too.
It's
so,
true. It's true.
I have a feeling we'll be covering a lot of family Geisinger songs.
Stay tuned.
In the future.
Stay tuned.
It is
Right.
indeed Belum. That is
Jadi
a
belum
perfect
ada,
word for
tapi
it.
akan ada sebentar lagi lagunya
it's
dari Diplomatic Notes. Nah, itu nanti ditunggu tuh. Nah, well, talking about music as well, I asked Nick before about Indonesian, instrument, Indonesian genre like dangdut and koplo and stuffs. So have you heard some of them?
Oh yeah, I've actually listened to a lot of dangdut.
Really?
Yeah, I really like that.
So how do you like it?
It's great. Oh, it's really fun. It's the same thing. I'm really impressed with the sense of melody that Indonesian songwriters have and musicians. It's really, really great. It just gives you a kind of a real flavor of the local culture.
Yes.
And just how warm and friendly Indonesian people are. Like even in a giant city like this with all the traffic, even when you're getting honked at, it never seems as bad when you're getting honked at or yelled at in some other country or some other city. So I lived a lot of years in New York, and I could tell you, if you were getting honked at, generally was a very contentious follow-up that was going to happen after the honking. Here, everyone's like, whatever, sorry, I'll move on. And then you just move on. It's great. No, it's fantastic, and it really is a testament to the spirit of this country and the culture. Yeah.
Thank you very much. So Nick have played a little bit of song, Andra and the Backbone song, Indonesian band.
All right.
So you got something to play? Maybe American song is fine, I think.
Okay, well, I don't know if I'm going to play this, but I could sing you a song because I think it's going to have a lot to do with what we're going to talk about a little bit later about the environment. It's a great song that I love from the 1970s by an artist named Marvin Gaye. I'm sure you're familiar with Marvin Gaye. One of the legendary singers in American pop music. And he had a song called Mercy, Mercy Me, the ecology, which was about protecting the environment.
Okay. Mercy, Mercy Me, ecology.
Mercy, Mercy Me, the ecology, yeah. Oh,
okay.
Radiation in the ground and in the sky. Oh, oh, mercy, mercy me. Oh, things ain't what they used to be. Oh, where have all the blue skies gone?
You can keep going if you want, but I don't. I don't know anymore.
Yeah,
That was great. I mean, she's pulled up the lyrics. That was quick, huh?
Ocean,
That's
and
great.
then many things. About
Yeah, it's all about pollution
and
and this pollution, air pollution, water pollution, and just the sadness that he feels about.
When you sing the music or you see the lyrics of that song, how do you think of it?
Right. I mean, I think it is a call to action. And I mean, it's important to think about this. This song was written almost 50 years ago.
Yes.
And can we honestly say that we've done a good job in protecting the planet in the last 50 years, even when this was written? I don't know. I mean, it's tough to say, and that's why it's a call to action for all of us.
Yeah.
Like, it's up to us. You know, we can easily complain, oh, our leaders don't do this, they don't listen to us. But we live in democracies, which means we are the ones who can decide our fate.
50 years before, he wrote something like, "Where did all the blue skies go?"
Yeah, exactly.
And it's really related to today, right?
Right, exactly. Yeah,
And it's time to do something.
Exactly. It is long past time to take action, and that's one of the things that we're really, really proud that we're working on with Indonesia over these next few years. It's actually a really exciting time.
Right. So, Nick, what do you think?
Yeah,
about the environment and stuff.
This is actually a great area of cooperation between the United States and Indonesia. It's a priority. Obviously, it's a global priority.
Yeah, I think.
But our two governments in particular understand that. And so, there's a lot going on. Maybe we can talk about it a little later. But, we have so many areas of cooperation around combating climate change.
Nah, itu dia, combating climate change. Karena setelah ini kita juga akan ngobrol-ngobrol soal lingkungan, environment, kemudian juga masih banyak hal lainnya, termasuk kerjasama bilateral antara Indonesia dan Amerika. Jadi stay tune teman-teman polling, sahabat Kompas TV, kita dengar dulu lagu dari Diplomatic Notes selanjutnya. Silakan.
Bilik bambu, tempat tinggal kita, tanpa hiasan, tanpa lukisan. Beratap jerami, beralaskan tanah, namun semua ini punya kita. Memang semua ini milik kita sendiri. Hanya alang-alang pagar rumah kita, tanpa anyelir, tanpa melatih. Hanya bunga bakung tumbuh di halaman, namun semua ini punya kita. Memang semua ini milik kita. Haruskah kita beranjak ke kota yang penuh dengan tanya? Lebih baik di sini. Rumah kita sendiri. segala nikmat dan anugerah yang kuasa. Semuanya ada di sini. Rumah kita. Kita beranjak ke kota yang penuh dengan tanya. Lebih baik di sini. Rumah kita sendiri. Segala nikmat dan anugerah yang kuasa, semuanya ada di sini. Rumah kita ada di sini. Rumah kita sini.
Nah, itu barusan tadi Anda mendengar Rumah Kita dinyanyikan langsung oleh Diplomatic Notes. Yeay, masih bersama kita di sini ada Mark dan juga Nick. Mereka adalah diplomat di Kedutaan Besar Amerika. Dan well, we still talk about a lot of environment, yeah? Because you know, related to environment and music, you know, how do you see? I mean, if we talk about the call to action, the song before you sing, how do you see our generations now act in saving the climate change, talking about environment things and stuff? Do we do enough?
So, you want me to get started?
Yeah, sure. Yes, sir. Mark.
Sure. Well, I think, you know, what's inspiring about today's young people is that they care about the environment in a way that I think previous generations didn't even comprehend as much. It's just part of an everyday life, whether you think about recycling or reducing use of plastics or just...
It's a global campaign, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like those things, the youth are deeply engaged in, and that's very, very inspiring. Unfortunately, it's still not quite enough. I mean, we really do need action on a level that we have never undertaken before because the crisis is so bad right now. I mean, it is at no pun intended, or actually pun intended. We are at a boiling point, right? I mean, the temperatures of the Earth are going way up, and we need action now if we're going to make things better. And so, in terms of what the U.S. Embassy is doing, what the U.S. government is doing, what the Indonesians are doing, it's a great start, but there's a lot of things both of us can do together. We need to do more, and the only way we're going to do it is working together.
So, well, it is, you know, certainly a focus, yeah, not only for the U.S. Embassy, but how to, you know, raise up the kesadaran, the awareness of saving the climate change, environment. So the focus in the U.S. Embassy itself, Nick, for this kind of issues?
Yeah, I mean, you bring up a good point. There's awareness and there's action. When we speak to young people, we talk about the little things you can do, and then also, you know, use your voice. Use your voice to make sure that climate issues remain a priority in our national conversations. It certainly is, I believe, for Indonesia and the United States. You know, our special representative for climate is John Kerry. The embassy is working closely with his team and with the government of Indonesia on a variety of things. Actually, just a couple of weeks ago, there was a trade mission from the United States, 12 leading U.S. companies on renewable energy, solar, wind power, and they're here talking with the government of Indonesia, talking with local companies, sharing expertise to make changes that make a difference.
Nice.
You know, there's awareness and then there's action, and I'm pleased
awareness
to say
itself will, wouldn't be enough, right? So
that's right.
Yeah,
So it's great that we're beginning to do what's needed, but a lot is needed, and you know, this is the decisive decade. I mean, we can't wait any longer.
Absolutely.
Yes, exactly. Ya, benar banget ya kalau ngomongin tentang climate change dan beberapa hal lainnya memang, well, it's not only Indonesia or the US, well, it's a global issues now.
Absolutely.
Like global priorities. Like one of example relating environment also, it's not only reducing, renewable things, but also the ocean, right?
Absolutely.
There is a global program called Our Oceans. Okay, maybe Mark can explain
sure.
a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Our Oceans is a conference that we've had several times now over the past few years, and it's led on the U.S. side by our special envoy for climate issues, John Kerry. But it also has a lot of involvement from the United Nations, dozens of other countries around the world. This last conference we had a little while ago was on the island of Palau. And I think it's an important thing to remember, that the climate crisis is an oceans crisis. And especially for a country like Palau or a country like Indonesia that is mostly ocean, right? I mean, yes, depending on who you talk to in Indonesia, it's either 3,000 islands, 9,000, or 17,000. Either way, it is a lot of islands.
Negara Kepulauan.
Yes, exactly.
Like
it is
17,000 plus.
Yeah,
islands.
exactly. And so your country, your countrymen are going to feel the effects of climate change before a lot of other countries. So you guys are on the front lines of this fight. To make sure that our world is safe for the future generations. And so that's what this conference is about. It's focused on action. I believe, I may have the numbers wrong, so you can probably correct it in post-editing, but I think we got pledges from multiple countries for about over $200 billion in pledges for action related to protecting our oceans. And that's really inspiring. And we're going to need more and more of that going forward in this, as Nick put it so well, this decade where we need decisive action.
Yeah. Nick, about the oceans though.
I enjoy talking about oceans here because it helps people understand how serious climate change is. Rising sea levels, ocean warming, ocean acidification. These are all things that climate change are doing to our waters. And, millions of Indonesians, billions of people around the world depend on the oceans for their livelihood.
Yeah.
And so, climate change is serious. That's one reason. There's many reasons, but, we're just pleased to be in Indonesia's G20 year. Climate is one of their priorities. Yeah. It's also one of ours.
Yeah, talking about plastics and oceans. Well, there are news, spread in Indonesia, this micro plastic stuff that is entering the stomach of the fish, and the fish itself eaten by human. Like, wow. Jadi memang banyak sekali ya masalah terkait dengan environment di dunia ini memang lagi menjadi priority. I say that a lot of priorities have to be shifted in saving our environment and climate change. So that we can merawat care about our future,
Absolutely.
And how do you see in the U.S. Embassy program itself relating to Indonesia? How can you see the young generations? What can we do, relating to the programs? Maybe we can help out something Indonesian youth with the program from the U.S. Embassy, maybe.
Well, we have a lot of programs for youth, and a lot of those focus on the environment. One program, Waisili, is one of its priorities is climate. Another is civic engagement.
Okay.
So if you want to become involved with the embassy, you can definitely on social media follow us, U.S. Embassy JAKARTA.
Okay.
That's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You can join. bisa bergabung.
Betul.
Waisili.
Okay, Waisili, civic engagement. Mark?
Yeah, absolutely.
Other things?
I think, yeah, like he said, keep engaged, see what kind of programs are available. We always have, whether it's exchange programs, whether it's grants for civil society organizations working on important issues like climate change, or assisting people displaced from other countries because of the climate crisis, or a conflict that's arising out of environmental issues. We do a lot of work with that. One of the things I do, I work in the political section, and I work on refugee assistance, which is a huge issue, especially in Southeast Asia, but of course worldwide, with all of the conflict and when you around the world. And when you look at some of the root causes, a lot of it has to do with fight over resources, fight over natural resources, because there's only so many resources we have for all the people on Earth. And so you see people trying to leave their country because of conflict that happened. Their lives are in danger because there's a conflict over whether it's water resources or oil or other types of natural resources. And so I think it's one of the things I'm reminded of every day about how the climate crisis and environmental issues it touches everything, right? I work in the political section. You would think all I would handle is elections and other things like that, but every single thing I do gets touched by environmental issues. Right. I mean, it ends up being the overarching theme of so much of what we do, and that's why it's so important we take decisive action to make things better and keep people safe.
So very nice perspective, Mark and Nick. Memang kalau berbicara mengenai lingkungan, banyak sekali yang bisa kita lakukan juga. Tidak hanya awareness tadi, kesadaran, tapi bagaimana kita juga melakukan sesuatu ya, sebagai juga generasi muda untuk merawatlah setidaknya, atau ya at least kita mulai sadar lah untuk menggunakan, untuk reduce plastik dan lain-lain. Nah, lagu berikutnya ini juga terkait dengan apa yang sudah kita bincangkan, terkait dengan lingkungan, bumi, dan lain-lain. So, inilah lagu berikutnya dari Diplomatic Notes, band dari US Embassy, yaitu One Love.
One love, one heart. Let's stay together and feel alright. Hear the children crying. One love. Hear the children crying. One heart. Say give thanks and praise to the Lord, and I feel alright. Let's get together and feel alright. Let them pass all their dirty remarks. One love. There is one question I really love to ask. One heart. Is there a place for the hopeless sinners? One love. Who has hurt all mankind just to save his own belief? Sing it now. One love, one heart. Let's get together and feel alright. Hear the children crying. One love. Hear the children crying. One heart. Say give thanks and praise to the Lord, and I feel alright. Let's get together and feel alright. Take it away, Mark.
People get ready, all the trains are coming.
One love.
You don't need no ticket, you just get on board.
One heart.
Faith is the key to hear the diesel humming.
One love.
You don't need no baggage, you just thank the Lord.
One heart. One love.
Talking about one love.
One heart. One heart. Let's get together and feel alright. Hear the children crying. One love. Hear the children crying. One heart. Say give thanks and praise to the Lord, and I feel alright. Let's get together together and feel alright. One more time. Let's get together and feel alright.
Oke, balik lagi di polling Podcast Keliling Kompas TV. Masih ada saya, Yanda, with Mark and Nick from the Diplomatic Notes band from the US Embassy. So, tadi udah banyak juga ngobrol tentang lingkungan. We talk a lot about environment, music, regarding the US Embassy itself, and in relation with the music. Are there any specific program, I mean, from the US Embassy that can engage Indonesian youth maybe relating to music? Is there any music exchange maybe? Nick?
There actually are. So the answer is yes.
Okay.
Literally, because one of the programs is called Yes.
Yes. So
Youth,
it is a program.
It is Youth Excellence on Stage.
Right.
This is a program, and many of you out there might want to apply for it. It's a program for kids 18 to 28, so young adults. You can apply at AmericanVoices.org, and we have professional trainers from the United States who come in a variety of styles,
Yes.
Broadway, hip-hop, jazz, rock. So it's something that Indonesians can get involved in. There's also programs for exchanges where Indonesians get to travel to the United States.
Ah, interesting.
That one's called One Beat. So the URL is literally one, the number one, and then beat.org. And so that one, you're there for 4 or 5 weeks, I want to say. And after working together with people from other countries, you go on tour in parts of the United States. You get to give workshops to American students, and it's a wonderful experience.
Yes.
So that's application based. Again, if you want to keep up with all of the opportunities, you can go to US Embassy JAKARTA.
At US Embassy Jakarta.
It's Facebook.
Yeah, it's so easy
US
to get
Embassy
information
JAKARTA,
nowadays, yeah.
or Twitter or Instagram.
Right, nice. Nah, itu kalau tertarik untuk mungkin lihat program-program dari Kedutaan Besar Amerika di Jakarta terkait dengan exchange music program, salah satunya tadi yang sudah dijelaskan Nick, bisa langsung pantau di social media at US Embassy Jakarta. Nah, kalau talking about diplomacy in the eye of a diplomat, talking about music itself, how do you see music as a tool of diplomacy, Mark?
So there's a very famous story. I think they may have even made a movie about it a while ago. And there was an episode of the British television sci-fi show Doctor Who, which did a little episode about this thing that happened about a little over 100 years ago during the First World War.
Going back.
Going way back, 1917, 1918, around that time. It was right at the front between where the Germans and the Allied forces were fighting.
World War I.
In World War I. So it was in rural France, I believe, or Belgium, around that area. And it was Christmas Eve. And obviously the soldiers are alone on the front at the war, away from home. Obviously it's a devastating time.
Yeah.
But for that one evening, they stopped, they put down their guns, and they got together and they started singing Christmas carols throughout the night. And they celebrated Christmas together. They exchanged pictures of their families with each other, told stories, talked about how much they missed home. And so for one night, I'm not saying music can cure everything, but for one night, a war stopped because people took the time to sing and to celebrate and remember what was really important in life about their families and their faith and peace. And so when I say that music can change the world, sometimes it can. And so that's why I think music is an incredibly powerful tool for diplomacy, because it's true. You have people who speak different languages, come from totally different backgrounds, maybe even are supposed to hate each other, and then you play a song that everybody knows,
and you
everything changes. All of a sudden you're friends. And so I think that was an important lesson. And the fact that really happened is an incredible testament to the power of music and what it can do for people. and for making the world a better place.
Nice. You just can go along, whether you know that or not that person, right? So it's very powerful tools.
Yeah, I can even think right before the pandemic in January, I was traveling with some embassy colleagues, and we went to a pesantren where the U.S. Embassy has an exchange program for kiais and for students also to go to the United States, and it was a great exchange program, and they found out that I played and singed a little bit. So, and I come from the state of Oklahoma in the United States, and there's a very famous Broadway musical called Oklahoma about the founding of the state. And so they asked me to sing in front of all these young students at the pesantren, and in front of there was a guest instructor from Egypt who was there too, and it was the same thing. And then they sang some songs for me, and it was fantastic.
And they play music also.
Yeah, they sang a few songs for me that they really liked. We talked about that, and so, I mean, same thing, my language skills are not great, unfortunately, but, and then we had a teacher from Egypt who only spoke Arabic, and yet everybody, we were all smiling, we were all laughing, and we made great connections. And so that's, once again, it's another example of how much music can really bridge the divides between people.
Yeah, right. Very good example, I think. Contoh yang sangat baik ya ketika Mark juga bisa ke pesantren tadi, terus tiba-tiba mereka juga nyanyi bareng, itu luar biasa. Nick, in the near future, how do you see the diplomacy regarding music also can boost the relationship between the two countries, Indonesia and the US?
Gosh, I mean, the possibilities are endless, especially now that we're on the other side of this pandemic. I will tell you one thing that does not translate well to an online environment: collaborative music. It's very hard, but we can also begin to get back to the fun things like this.
Yeah, of course, yeah. Sebelumnya, before it's really hard only to play music, to meet people, right, in the pandemic. So, Mark, you got any messages for the young generations who watch this episode?
Sure. Well, I think the most important thing is, you have the power to make this world a better place. We are two of the largest democracies in the world, and so it matters. Our voice matters, and what we say and who we pick to lead us matters. And so I think it's a really important message for the youth out there. Get engaged, get involved. You could start at the smallest level in your apartment building, in your neighborhood, all the way up to, maybe someday you run for president. I think it's important at all levels to stay engaged, because the only way we are going to protect this planet and make sure that our children and future generations have a beautiful planet Earth to grow up in.
Amen to that. Nick, any last word maybe?
Sure, I'll take this chance to, Mark talked about using your voice. The opposite is what you're learning. And so I would say be careful to check your information sources. There is all sorts of information and disinformation. Disinformasi, very dangerous. Hoax. So think about what you're reading. Think about other viewpoints. Go beyond sosmed to find
check and recheck
some facts, and use your voice.
Nice. Okay, so thank you very much, Mark Neighbors, Nick Geisinger, to be here, to share the stories about music, environment, and the relations between the US and Indonesia, and pastinya also about music as a tool of diplomacy itself.
It's our pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So, teman-teman polling, Podcast Keliling Kompas TV, kita barusan ngobrol-ngobrol banyak soal banyak hal, tidak hanya terkait musik, karena ini juga terkait dengan Hari Musik Dunia, tapi tentang lingkungan, bagaimana kita harus menjaga lingkungan. Tadi juga disampaikan oleh Nick, bagaimana kita harus recheck informasi, jangan sampai kemakan hoax. Jadi sekali lagi, selamat Hari Musik Dunia, Happy World's Music Day 2022. Semoga semuanya tetap sehat. Jangan lupa untuk vaksin juga ya. Jangan lupa untuk dapat vaksin dan juga terus jaga protokol kesehatan. Kita ketemu lagi di polling Kompas TV berikutnya. Saya Iriana Mardanus pamit. Terima kasih. Sampai jumpa.
Pulled in Nazareth was feeling about 10:30. Just need a place where I can lay my head. Hey, mister, can you tell me where may I find a bed? He just grinned, shook my hand, no was all he said. Take a load off Annie, take a load for you, take a load off Annie, and you put the load right on me.
Backed up my bag, oh, went looking for a place to hide. When I saw Carmen and the devil walking side by side, I said, hey Carmen, come on, let's go downtown. She said, I gotta go, but my friend can stick around. Take a load off Annie, take a load for free, take a load off Annie, and you put the load right on me. Go down as Moses, oh, there's nothing that you can't say. It's just old Luke, and Luke's waiting on the judgment day. Well, Luke, my friend, what about young Annalie? Said, do me a favor, son, won't you stay and keep Annalie company? Hey, take a load off Annie, take a load free, take a load off Annie, and put the load right on me. Crazy Chester followed me, yeah, he caught me in the fog. He said, I will fix your right if you take Jack, my dog. I said, wait a minute, Chester, you know I'm a peaceful man. He said, that's okay, boy, won't you beat him when you can? Take a load off Annie, take a load for free, take a load off Annie, and you put the load right on me. Catch a cannonball, now take me on down the line. My bag is sinking low, and I do believe it's time to get back to Miss Fanny. You know she's the only one who sent me here with her regards for everyone. Take a load off Fanny, take a load for free, take a load off Fanny, and you put the load right on me.